Hey, what's up, guys? I am still alive, in case you were wondering. Um, while we wait on the other modules to come, I just wanted to talk about something that I get asked a whole lot, and it's what's the difference between a smoothbore barrel and a rifle barrel as far as performance when you're dealing with the BB gun. Well, there's a big difference. A BB is not 177 caliber. A BB is more like 174. So it's allowed to be shot out of rifled barrels, which will shoot BBs or pellets, because the BB actually rides on the lands of the rifling. So as it rides on the lands of the rifling, a couple of things happen. You have air that's allowed to escape in front of the BB, so you're going to lose that power. And it also does put a little bit of a twist on the BB. Now, because BBs are spheres, you can't stabilize them by putting a spin on them because of like minute imperfections and all this. What ends up happening is you take a baseball player, a pitcher, for example. When he throws a corkscrew, what does he do? He twists that ball, and then the stitching on it catches the air and it causes it to, corkscrew or do whatever the pitcher wants it to do. You have the same principle going on in airsoft, with what they call hop up. They put a backward spin on it, which causes the projectile to go out and then raise up. So that's not really what we're looking for. I mean, hop up might be useful for a BB gun, but if you go back in time in history when they had smoothbore cannons and they were shooting round shot, the reason that those were so accurate is because you had a much heavier mass there going through the air. Air's, I think, about a kilogram per square meter at sea level. So you don't normally think of that because you're always in it. But you think about just throwing something through anything that has that much mass, and you're dealing with like air. So a quality smoothbore barrel is not necessarily going to put a spin on your projectile, and it's about caliber of 174. What this means is you can't shoot pellets out of it just because they're too big. There is lead shot that we used to shoot out of the Droste, the barrels that were made by Jim C. and Drosmax. But again, it's kind of pointless. And the idea back then was if you could get it to bite the rifling, you could put a spin on it. But what happens is about 40 feet out, it just goes whatever way it wants to, and you get that hop-up effect. We were using lead shot, 177 caliber lead shot back then. It was nickel plated. You can still get it from Ballistic Products. I'll leave a link below if you want to try some of that stuff out. A couple of problems with it. It's really soft, so it didn't work very well at all in the hopper magazines. And trying to use it in the 30 round magazine, because it's so soft, you have this hammering effect of the air going down on your line of BBs that goes up to the valve body, and that creates flat spots on that line of BBs going up, and they usually get deformed enough and get hung up right where they go into the valve body. Now with the 30 round magazine, you can undo it and click it a couple of times to force another lead BB in there. Now, one of my customers did give me some lead BBs that I'm pretty sure will go into a smoothbore, but I haven't tried them out. It looked pretty rough. Now, hopefully they were made out of a harder lead alloy. There are different alloys, like some of them contain tin in them, like the old line of type lead alloy that they used in printing presses. It's a good bit harder than your just pure lead. So maybe that would be a good way to go. But then even going with lead, it's not going to hit any harder, because let's say you're running 1400 psi air, the same barrel, same gun. Let's say you shoot a BB out of it and you chronograph it at 1,000 feet per second. All right. Now, these numbers are just because I don't remember exactly how it goes, but I have done this before. Now, let's say you shoot a lead BB out of it, and let's say that's 800 feet per second. Well, once you do the math, you get the same force, you get the same joule rating of your impact. So a lead BB is not going to hit any harder than a steel BB. However, because it's softer, it's not going to ricochet as bad. But it's not going to go nearly as far. So to me, it's kind of pointless to shoot lead BBs out of these things, and especially because they just flat out won't work with the magnetic augers at high rates of fire. All right, guys. Well, keep an eye out for me. I'm still around, and I should be getting the trigger module for our new gun to play with this coming week. So I'll be making a video about that. And until then, later.